What's going on, world? It's your boy Gemini Brown here, back with another episode of Nalo Kicking Knowledge. Today, we're kicking off a new series. We'll be doing Venus through houses, and right now, Venus is currently transiting the sign of Gemini, which is a great time to get out and socialize, start a new hobby, learn something that mentally stimulates you. It's a really, really good transit. And so we'll be talking about Venus in the first house. And Venus is the planet of love, beauty, relationships, harmony, the balance within ourselves, how we seek pleasure. And the first house is the ascendant. It is the physical body, how we interact with the world around us. And when planets come into the ascendant, they are very, very potent. You could say at a certain level, you've mastered this expression so much that it's just a part of who you are. So, first thing you want to know about Venus in the first house is that they're very charming people. As you know, this is what Venus represents. They're charming people. They know how to interact with others, and as a result, they're constantly attracting people. Okay, and the next reason they're constantly attracting people is because more times than not, they're attractive or beautiful. And even if they don't realize these qualities about themselves, the world around them will let them know. These are the people who are constantly complimented. You look really nice today. Wow, you're very pretty. I love your hair. Okay? Because Venus is here on display. So, with Venus being, creativity as well, it's very important for you to buy into the aspect of creating yourself and an actual persona, okay? And you'll do this through, how you communicate with others, your fashion sense, and this can lead to a lot of things. It can make you very much so an influencer of others, okay? For instance, like with the fashion sense, right? Say we have somebody with Venus in Aquarius or Venus in aspect to Uranus. This is going to be someone who seeks to be very different within, their fashion sense and, how they interact with the world. They'll very much so be well received here in the first house. They'll be encouraged. People will gravitate towards their style versus if this same position was in another house. Let's use the example of like gauges, right? Gauges are those things you put in your ears and things like that. So someone with Venus in the first house who decides to wear that, people are looking like, oh, I never really liked that, but that looks really, really good on you. Versus if your Venus was in the sixth house, you'd probably be crucified for looking like that. You know what I mean? So it's an influence here that can definitely be exploited. So if we get like a Venus in Scorpio or Scorpio rising, this is someone with sexual magnetism all around them. So, if they end up being a stripper, if they end up being even a video model, right? Something, a pinup girl, something where they're using that sexual magnetism, it isn't necessary. Who's to say it's wrong? You get what I'm saying? It's just them playing out towards the energy, okay? So, another good example is if Venus is in Leo. These are people, I always tell you, Leo is the energy of like celebrity or royalty. So these are people who are very much so treated like so, whether or not they're actually famous or not. You can have, there's people with Venus and Leo who are just like locally famous, okay? Like people know who you are by these certain characteristics, whether it be how you dress, how you look, or whatever, okay? Or your hair. It's what stands out, okay? And like I said, I just feel like people with this position have to be aware of that creative nature within them and seek to bring that creativity into every area of life. With Venus relating to relationships, these are people who are very relationship oriented. Not necessarily in the sense of romantic relationships, but just wanting to be around others. Because understand, Venus is how we, relate to others. So we're constantly like in a way where we use others as a mirror to ourselves. Okay, this is very true for Venus in the first house. So the thing you want to be aware of with this is that, and it's going to be a running theme throughout this whole series, whoever you're forming relationships with are going to have an influence on your personality. Okay, and wherever the sign like of Libra is in your chart is going to show where the type of people you really seek to formulate close relationships with. So if it's in your 10th house, you're going to seek to really have close relationships with your coworkers or people who can help you achieve in life. Opposite to that, if Libra's in your 4th, you're going to seek to have strong relationships with your family members, your mother. Okay, and then aspect wise, let's say Venus is aspecting the sun or aspecting the moon. From this position, that's going to show very much you carry a certain influence within your personality from mom or dad. So that's really, really important to keep in mind. All right, the influence that others have upon you and how you adjust your personality towards them. But it's a really, really good position because it allows you, like I said, that charm, that understanding of other people, okay? And the aspects that it makes, whether, harmonious or harsh, are just going to show the ease in which you can formulate those relationships, all right? So, y'all, this is my interpretation of Venus in the first house. I hope you enjoyed. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, feel free to do so. Until next time, peace.